I'm going to review WildSpark, brought to you by the Synereo AMP team. So I invested in AMP about over a year ago, um, and yeah, I invested quite a few Bitcoin into it, and I lived through all the drama at the end of last year, and so I think I'd in the back of my mind forgotten that I'd invested in it, and just thought, I'll just leave it as um, a kind of speculative investment to see where it would go. However, this month they released a beta version of their product, which is actually a Chrome extension, and it allows you to share and what they call amplify YouTube content, and to get rewarded for it, to give rewards and to get rewarded for it, and for others to give and get rewards for sharing what you've shared. So it is a tipping service essentially. So when you share, you decide how much you want to tip what you've shared, and 1/3 of what you tip goes to the person that created the YouTube content in the first place, so the video uploader. Um, and the third goes to the first person that curated it, so the first person that shared it gets a third of um, whatever you tip. And I guess if you're the first person, then you get that third. I don't know. And then a third goes into what they call a fractional reserve, which I think is shared amongst all previous creators. Again, I haven't looked too deeply into the detail, but that's what I understand is going on. But it's predicated on the fact that there are people that want to share content, and not only share content but to tip it out of their own pocket. And there are people that are also not just want to tip the person that created it, but want to give a share of the spoils to people that have shared it. Yeah, so if you see that vision, then this could be the product for you. Again, I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. I am invested in Synereo. I'm invested in other coins that could potentially be seen as competing with Synereo. Um, but that's what I think the value proposition is on this particular product. So I tried to sign up earlier. Let me sign out so you can get an idea of how it works. One thing you need to be aware of is what I've noticed is when I sign out, all of my see what's happening. Oops, 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 see what I hope you might be able to hear all that. So this is something you need to be aware of. Wow, bit of a disaster there. But that's one of the problems that you're going to find is that if you have a lot of YouTube stuff open and you sign out of Wildfire, they WildSpark, they all go off, they all start playing. So that might be something that needs to be addressed, because that's not the first time that I've signed out um, of WildSpark, and then all of a sudden all of the YouTube that I've had open starts to play, and then you get this clusterfuck of noise um, in your ear. And I didn't plan that. But what I want to do is just show you that when you sign up, so you go to wildspark.me, and you will have an option to install the Chrome extension. And when you do that, the Chrome extension will appear. And then when you go to your YouTube, you will get this. So this is what I wanted to show when I signed up. So you'll get this sign up to WildSpark. So you can sign up with just using an email, a nickname, and a password, and you're good to go. However, you do not get any AMP. So you would have to understand how to purchase AMP. If you want to get some free AMP, you need to verify your account using Facebook. Now, as many of you might be aware, there's obviously a potential issue with trying to verify with Facebook in that lots of people have shell or fake Facebook accounts, which they could potentially use to sign up multiple accounts and claim the 10 amp, which is given free for verifying via Facebook. So that's potentially an issue. I don't know if the Synereo team have a way of getting around it, but that's potentially something that needs to be looked at. So one thing I also noticed was when I first tried to sign up, I tried to sign up with Nanzo-Scoop, which is the moniker that I use on Steemit and other places in Cryptoland. However, I noticed that that gave me an X. Didn't like that for some reason. So I thought, oh, has someone signed up with it? So I went to WildSpark and I thought, well, I should be able to just quickly find out who's signed up and see what their profile is and what's going on. However, I noticed that, it's really an early beta in the sense that you can't even go and see um, people's profiles, so you can't really get a feel for who is sharing what and whether someone's worth following or not, which I'm hoping is something that will be addressed soon. So I signed up with just Nanzo Scoop. Oh look, see, nickname's already taken, so I don't know what's wrong with Nanzo-Scoop. That seems to have another problem. Maybe they've reserved the nickname for me. Chance to be a fine thing. So anyway, I have verified my account, so I will continue with Facebook. Boom, and then I sign in, and then what you'll notice is that you get this little emblem. Oh God, I can't even speak. It's so late. Anyway, you get this on the left-hand side, and what you will then see is this. So um, you get this nice little pop-up, which is your way of amplifying the content that is on the screen. So I believe I already have amplified this particular page, or maybe I haven't. I'm not sure I have. So yeah, I've noticed that occasionally, even though you've amplified stuff, it treats it like you haven't. So I think this might be a little buggy at this stage, which I guess is to be expected that it's in beta. So the idea is that I can amplify this by 1 amp or 0.1 amp. Click amp, and then I'll get a link to share it. It also gets shared on the live feed on the WildSpark page, so people can discover it that way. I guess the idea is that I then share it amongst my friends who also are signed up to WildSpark. They will then see it, and then they can decide whether they want to tip it and share it further as well. So I guess that's the whole daisy chain that they're hoping to create. So if I just go and find someone else's piece of content that I potentially want to share and someone that I potentially want to follow, let me go to the live feed. Rick Ashley seems to be doing the rounds. I don't know why he's doing the rounds. I think because Dor, who's the creator or the CEO of AMP, I think he shared it, and then everybody's resharing it for some reason. It just, if anything's got a trend, it shouldn't be that. Oh look, um, Heidi Travels. I recognise Heidi Travels. A beginner's guide to Ether Delta. I might actually watch that, and that's been shared by Binky. Now I might decide I wanna amplify this, so I will click on amp. Now what should happen is not only does it open the video that has been shared, but excellent, it's worked this time. So it also shows you who it's been shared with. So it's shared with me by Binky, and at this point I can choose to follow this guy or not. So I can follow him, but again, annoyingly, I can't actually go into his profile and get to see what kind of stuff he generally shares, or whether this is a one-off good share, or whether this is typical of the stuff that he shares. But I'll follow him anyway, um, and then I can decide how much I want to amp it. So if I do 0.3, zero point 0.1 will go to Crypto Tips, Heidi Travels. When she decides, if she decides to sign up, she'll get zero point 0.1 of an amp, courtesy of me. You're welcome. Um, Binky, if he is the first curator, will get zero point 0.1, and then zero point 0.1 will be shared amongst other creators if he's not the first creator, or whatever. I don't know. Well, something like that anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to amplify it and not look too deeply into it. And what you can see is I can get this link, which I can copy and then paste it on my social media. If I just copy it and I just open it up, what you'll see, interesting. I was expecting that. I was expecting that to show me, not because I'm egotistical, but because I'm the one that's showing it. Oh, look, I'm appearing down here as someone that shared it. But I was really expecting to be the man up here on my link. That would make sense, wouldn't it not? Yeah, I'm the person that's sharing it, so it would be shared with me. Interesting. Let me just have a look at what that is and compare that to, if I try and amp this. Yeah, so this is shared with me. If I try and if I do that on 0.6, can I amp it again? Does it give me another link that I can copy? And then if I go into that, can I have a look at what's going on there, please? Yeah, that doesn't quite make sense with me, or maybe it just shows the person that first shared it. Who knows? Um, anyway, I thought it would show me, but it doesn't show me. But I'm not egotistical. I'm just going to go and share it on my Twitter and just say I'm testing Synereo amp. Okay, and then tweet it. And if anybody that I have on my Twitter happens to have Synereo amp, they can decide, oh, if they like what I'm sharing, and then I guess tip it, and then I will benefit from that tip somehow. So you get, that's the kind of approach. Make of that what you will in terms of its viability, but I think that's generally how it works. Again, what I haven't shown, which I was planning to show, was that if you click on, and this is something which I didn't work out or clock straight away, if you click on your icon, you will see that you can see how much amps you spent. I've spent 2 amp already. Oh God, that's almost $1. No, probably almost 50 cent. Um, rules received, and sometimes this actually does show a value. I don't think I've received any rules yet, so that's okay. The amount of people I'm following, the amount of followers. Um, if I want to withdraw my 8 amp, I can click withdraw. I've got 8 amp. Oh, but I can't withdraw that because it's a minimum of 25 amps. So people can't just sign up, get their 10 amps, and then disappear into the ether. They have to have at least 25 amp to withdraw. You whack in where you're withdrawing it into there, and then you withdraw. I haven't tried withdrawing, but yeah, that might be the next thing to do at some stage. You can deposit amps, again, similar way. You get a deposit address, you can copy that to a clipboard, go into an exchange, and then send it to your address here, or you can have an offline wallet, which is obviously always advisable, and then send it from there to your um, online or whatever your Chrome extension wallet, whatever it's called. So you do have some useful features here, which I hope will be expanded into some sort of profile type page at some stage. So that is, without trying to over egg this, the long and short of what the offering is for WildSpark at the moment. Again, it's beta. It does look very bare bones in terms of what they're offering at the moment. Make of it what you will. Again, I think I would like to have the ability to top and tail content that I share, because often, it's the context in which you're sharing a YouTube video that can be as important as the YouTube video that you're sharing itself. And not having that ability to create your own content, as in um, create a post, put some blurb around it, um, I think will kind of limit the appeal of this offering the way it stands. And I think the original Synereo AMP offering was the ability to post and the ability to follow tags and stuff like that. So I think all of that stuff really does need to come for this to gain any legs. I think the appeal at the moment will be people that are into AMP or into cryptocurrency. I struggle to see how this will have wider appeal at the moment, but it's a start. One more thing before I go is that I did find something really useful, and that was someone to follow on YouTube. And I did want to amp this guy up because it was quite funny. So you would have heard some effing and blinding if you could hear it. I don't know if it's recording. When all of my YouTubes went at once, and that would have been this guy here. I'll leave a link to this in the description because I think he's funny. You should follow him, Big Man Tyrone. So this is #1 trending on Wild Spark at the moment, um, and it's about fuck coin. There you go. It's hilarious. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So yeah, so that's one benefit of the evening's excursion into Wild Spark. All right, I'm gone. I need to get some sleep. I spent way too much time faffing around with this computer, and it's time for me to get some shy. So I will speak to you soon. Bye.